I'm Teresa, and tonight I'm going to demonstrate a recipe for you. One of my favorite restaurants is Chili's. They have two things on their menu that I enjoy the most. One, chicken enchilada soup, and the other is their salsa. I'm a huge fan of salsa, and I really enjoy making it for myself. If you're invited to a party and you want to take an appetizer, or if you're just having a small gathering and you want to stick with something inexpensive, this would be the recipe for you. With all of the ingredients combined, I've spent just under $10. Let's go through what they are. First, we have 2 cans of whole tomatoes that are drained. 14.5 ounces is the size. Next, you can get a small can, about a 4-ounce size, of jalapenos. Not the pickled ones, they change the flavor dramatically. About 4 or 5 is good, but if you don't like it quite so spicy, just a few will do. I'm only going to use 3. A 1/4 cup of yellow onions, chopped and diced. A teaspoon of garlic salt. 1/2 to 1 teaspoon of regular salt. 1 teaspoon of cumin. 1/2 teaspoon of sugar. And a teaspoon of the juice from a lime. Let's go ahead and cut that now. Fresh is always better. I've rolled it out to make it soft and pliable and easy to use. And I'm going to just fill this little cup here, trying to avoid some of the pulp. You're going to need a bowl for the mess because it will get messy. I'm going to pour that in there so it's easier to work with. The way we prepare the recipe is to add all of the ingredients into a blender or food processor, and we're going to puree it until it's smooth. Let's do that now. Tomatoes, jalapenos, the onions, the cumin, salt. The first one was garlic, this one's the cumin. A little bit of sugar, and then the lime juice. I want to throw in a little extra knowledge here for you, something that I learned from my grandmother. I've taken parchment paper, or you can use wax paper, and just folded it into a square, and use that paper to measure out my dry ingredients on. It works well because you can pick it up and just slide it right into the blender and not make a mess. Let's blend this up. Remember, it's puree for about 2 minutes. I wanted to watch and be sure that the onions were chipped up well, but that everything was not chunky in there, because that's a little unappealing. I'm going to do it for just a couple of seconds more. Another little trick that I learned along the way is to save your jars. Here I purchased some salsa, so I cleaned the jar well and stored it to use later. You're going to need extra jars in case you make quite a bit. You're going to want to be able to store your excess salsa. That's a nice amount there. Something really cute that I wanted to show you is something that I learned. I've taken tortillas and cut them into circles about that big. I used a cup and a knife. Just put the cup down, went around it, and made these nice little circles. Take the cupcake or the muffin pan and spray it with a non-stick cooking spray. Take the tortilla and press it down into the muffin pan and bake it at 350 degrees for 7 minutes. Works great. This is what you end up with. Isn't that adorable? I'm going to take the salsa that I've prepared and dip it into these little cups. If you're having a little gathering, This would be a very nice display for your created salsa. I think your guest would enjoy it. You could go a little further out, sprinkle cheese on top, and let them be served individually like this, or just have your guest to dip into a small portion if they would like to do that. I hope that you will use this recipe. I enjoyed making it, and thank you.